Okay, I'm about to decline weanum, weenie, neuter with the adjective omnis, omnis, omne. I'm going to start with my noun. Very first step, I want to copy my dictionary definition onto my chart. The first form is the nominative singular, so I can put weanum right in that box. The second form is the genitive singular, so I can put that right underneath it, weenie. Now, before I move on, I need to look at this and figure out what chart I'm using. Because of the ending on the genitive singular, long I know this is a second declension noun, and the dictionary definition also tells me it's neuter. So that's the chart I need, second declension neuter. When I look at that chart, first I want to check what else needs to look like my nominative singular weanum. Well, all nouns, with the exception of a couple and second declension masculine, have a vocative that looks like the nominative singular, and this is no exception, so I'm going to write weanum in there. Because it's neuter, there's one more spot I need my nominative singular, and that's in the accusative singular. So all three look the same, nominative, accusative, vocative. Now I'm ready to move on. Next thing I want to think about is what's my stem. So I go to the genitive singular and I look at everything in front of the ending. And my stem is spelled V-I-N. So I can write that in every spot that's still empty. Once I have my stem written in, I'm going to switch colors again to red. Now I can add endings on everything that's not complete yet. And again, those endings are going to come from the second declension neuter chart. So long O's in the dative and ablative singular, A's in the nominative, accusative, and vocative plural because it's neuter, and then second declension endings, orum, ease, and ease. And that's how you decline the second declension neuter noun, weanum. If I want to add the adjective to that, omnis, omnis, omne, this adjective, whenever adjectives ends in is, belong to third declension. These three forms are all the nominative singular, but there's one for every gender. Omnis is masculine, as is the second omnis, and omne is neuter. My noun is neuter, so I want to use this nominative singular, and I can ignore the other two. They don't apply to this noun. So I'm going to copy that out of the dictionary definition onto my chart. Just like I did with the noun, the next thing I want to do is figure out where else do I want the nominative singular. So I can come look at my third declension neuter chart. This isn't I-stem, so I'm just using regular third declension endings for the neuter. And just like with weanum, the vocative also needs to look like the nominative, and so is the accusative. Now I can figure out my stem, which I always get from the neuter, unless it's provided. So it's O-M-N, and I can write that in everywhere else. Once I have my stem, I'm going to add third declension neuter endings. However, it's important to remember that third declension adjectives act like I-stem endings. So don't forget that the adjective's third declension chart has a couple weird spots that don't look like the nouns, unless you're looking at an I-stem noun. So when I add my endings in, we'll star those. It's a third declension adjective, so the genitive singular has to be short is. Dative looks just like the noun, long I. The ablative is one of the I-stem spots. It's a long I instead of a short E. So that's unique to I-stems and third declension adjectives. In the plural, instead of just having the A, I-stems have an IA. And instead of just having in the genitive plural, they have ium, eum. Ibis is the same. Here again, the accusative has to look like nominative, so I've got that special I in front of my A. Ibis is the same, and then the vocative must also have that I. So the ones I've starred look a little bit different than a regular third declension noun, because the adjective looks like an I-stem third declension noun. And that is how you decline weanum and omnis.